talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. I'm about to play a full video. I want y'all to listen to this while you're driving. Only one earbud in. I want you to listen to this while you're casing your mail. I want you to listen to this while you have time on the toilet. I want everybody to just listen to this. There is so much information. I am really proud that the people have finally come together and started enjoying the union. They're unified. You're about to listen to a rap session where you're going to hear things that you probably never heard at your own meetings. You're probably going to hear things that you didn't know existed. These people are talking about this tentative agreement. They're telling you about how Renfro unilaterally, that means him and him alone, pushed this contract towards management. He's telling you everything. I mean, you got the players, they're talking and they're getting answers back. They're talking about pay. They're talking about, man, listen. When I tell you that you need to listen to every bit of this so you can be informed, educate yourself. Because you guys have finally come together and you're starting to realize that when I was talking that about a year ago saying go to your union meetings and be the change that you want to see, and y'all thought I was crazy back then. Now you see that your money ain't good. Now you want to be involved. Better late than never. But now that you are involved, make sure that you educate yourself with all the little intricate details that this contract has to offer, what they're taking out, what they're putting in, what they did not add in. Yo, listen, I can't go through tit by tit by tit for every little thing, but if you listen very carefully to everything, and I mean every bit of this is information for you, as well as the clerks as well. They're talking about, what the clerks, as far as the raises are concerned. And you got to remember, if the clerk's getting the raise and where they're starting at, remember, that's the APWU. That means that, the rest of the APWU will fall in line. Now, this isn't from Jay. This isn't speculation. This is what they're saying. And this is from union presidents. This is from union people that are involved. These are people that have talked directly to Renfro. These are people. I need you all to listen. As they're talking about taking away sick leave and the only time you can use sick leave and annual leave and emergency placements and everything that goes with this. So much information. And one thing I want you to see is there is so much unity amongst the brothers and sisters out there. It damn near brought a tear to my eye. This is what you need to show your local shop stewards and your local representatives and say, how come we're not like this? How come we are not like them? I mean applause. I mean laughs. I mean people getting along. I used to tell y'all that you need to have some bulldogs in place. Well, these people are clear bulldogs. If you didn't think they exist, y'all check this out. Tell me what you think. And like I said, this is a long video. Listen carefully to it though. Beginning to end, information galore. Check it out.
You guys are the members. I know there's a lot of branches that are not from here, but you guys are NALC members. Listen, an injury to one is an injury to all. We're in all of this together. This is important that we vote on this contract. It's important that we vote. I know a lot of people are afraid What happens if we go to arbitration? Right? What happens if we go to arbitration? We won't know if we don't go. Okay? We don't know if we don't go. So we gotta go. Okay? The best thing that you do when you stand in front of an arbitrator and you put your case in front, and I tell you from experience because I've been doing it for the last 4 years, presenting cases in front of an arbitrator. And the last case that I just presented, with the help of my executive counsel, we were able to get rid of a manager that can never ever supervise in the Brooklyn installation. You know what that is? That a manager can never supervise in an installation? It's a big deal. That's the stepping stone that we need. In the 1970s, our carriers went on strike. That's because they didn't have collective bargaining. Now we have collective bargaining. And unfortunately, we can't go on strike. But let me tell you something. In 2020, I was accused of sanctioning a strike. For 369 days, I stood next to my membership. I'll do it again. So let's go. First, I want to thank my executive board, especially my right-hand man, Luther McCoy. This is my man. We're going to go through parts of the contract. We're going to explain to you. Again, we're going to explain to you the pros and cons, and we'll take it for there. Luther McCoy.
Thank you, John. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. What I'm going to discuss is about the uniforms. It's going to read a little excerpt of it, and then we're going to take it from there. All letter carriers will receive allowances increase, and amounts indicated in the following dates. May 21st of 2025, we should get this 536 plus an additional 125 for the newly career eligible carriers. May 21st, 2026 is $549 plus an additional $128. The newly eligible credit may be used only once, but the current procedures for employees transferring from one allowance category to another, for example, CCA to career carrier, will be continued. CCAs are entitled to the same uniform allowances provided to the career employees, but they do not receive the additional amount for the newly eligible until they are converted to career status. The uniform allowance carryover, this is something that's great. It could be. Unused portions of the eligible employee's annual allowance for uniforms and work clothing will be carried over for the available for use. However, an eligible employee's uniform or work clothing allowance balance may not exceed the sum of 2 years of employer's annual allowance entitlement. This newly negotiated uniform and work clothing program adjustment will be implemented no later than 12 months from the effective date of 2023 to 2026 agreement. So it is some pros and cons with that. The only thing with my experience all the years I've been in the post office, no matter what's been negotiated, this is the part that we really got to fight, is with the vendors. There's no disrespect to anybody who's here, but if we get a raise for $100 per uniform, the vendors usually, they go up. So it's like, that's one of the biggest fights that we have. So, but we still have some good language here if it's get ratified. That's one of the good things that they have. Okay, thank you.
One of the main problems that we have with uniforms is the pricing of the gouging. That's the biggest price. A pair of pants costs you $108. So again, this is not the uniform vendors. There's one single source, and they call boys, and they control the whole industry. They control 80% of the industry, and they got other companies that are under them. So that's the way they do it. Hopefully, if we don't ratify this contract and we go to arbitration, we could get more money for our letter carriers, and that's what we need. That's what we need, more money for our letter carriers so they can have uniforms. How many times we walk around, we see carriers, it takes a carrier 5 to 6 years to get a full uniform. There's no need for that. You never see a UPS guy like that. No. You never see a New York City police officer like that. Right? So why is it that we have to go through that? We're one of the biggest industries in the country. Besides the military, we're one of the biggest industries in the country. We need more money for our letter carriers for their uniforms so they can have a uniform. That's one of the main problems. So that's why, okay, he negotiates that, you can add it on for 2 years. So what does that mean? It's still the same amount of money. It's bad enough we already have problems with these supervisors that don't even want to give us our vouchers. When you go to them, you say, where's my voucher? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Okay? That's the problem, one of the main problems that has to be fixed. And it's not in this contract. Nowhere in this contract it says about the uniform allowance. All right. Eddie? Yeah. All right. Secretary Treasurer, Eddie.
I'm going to talk about Article 10. There's 2 additions here in regards to Article 10. I'm going to look for it here. Okay, one of them is the bereavement. You know, they now include grandchildren. You know, when your grandchildren pass away, that's included. Does that make a big difference? No. Okay. The other thing that they have is the carryover monetary or the carryover of your annual leave. They saying that you can cash in 40 hours of your annual leave in this new contract. Okay, but there's 2 caveats. And the 2 caveats are that you have to be maxed out, which is what, 520 now? Right now it's 520. So you gotta have 520 hours of annual leave to cash out on 40 hours, right? The second caveat is that you can't use no more than 75 hours of sick leave. So if you use 76 and you got that, it's useless. They have this in this contract. There should not be any caveat. If you need the money in December, then you should be getting the 40 hours or the 80 hours. Here, there's 2 caveats. You're stuck. How many people here have not used 75 hours of sick leave? Not too many people, right? How many people have 520 hours of annual leave? Huh? Not too many people. Okay? So those are the 2 caveats. The second thing is time limitations. Now, when you're sick, okay, and they're telling you that you're going to get administrative leave, it doesn't tell you how many hours of administrative leave. If you're going to donate a bone marrow, stem cell, platelets, or an organ. Now, you're going to get administrative leave if you donate, okay? So let's just say Gregory Jones is donating his platelets or his kidneys to me, all right? But I don't get any of that because I'm a recipient. I'm going to read it now. See? As a recipient, you don't get that administrative leave. I'll read it right now. Time limitations concerning bone marrow, stem cell, blood platelets, and organ donations. This new MOU defines the amount of administrative hours granted and time limitations applicable to bone marrow, stem cells, blood platelets, and organ donations for carriers and career employees. Career employees. Okay? Is the CCA a USPS employee?
Yes.
Yes. Are they a USPS employee? Yes, they are.
Of course they are.
So why should they be not included in this?
Exactly.
Maybe it's the 50 cents that you guys are gonna get. But with that, please vote no.
Amen.
How many Jets fans we got here?
Hey, right here! Hey!
Giants?
Unfortunately. Watch your numbers.
Right, Serena, this is the only good caveat that we have in this contract. She's gonna talk to you about it. Serena is the OWCP health benefit rep, and she has been doing an amazing job at those.
So the only good thing is right now they're saying that the Postal Service will continue to contribute 72% of the premium with a maximum of 75% of the premium for any given plan. So that's good news. Right? But now, anyway, and also I just want to remind everybody, open season starts tomorrow and it closes. Is it the 11th? Tomorrow? Yeah. November 11th and it closes December 9th. To check your letter and make sure your right plan code is on the letter. If not, go to Postal Ease and put in for your right plan. That's all.
Thank you. Before I continue, I want to thank these ladies over the other side. I know this young lady a long time. We've been married 28 years. She's been dealing with me, so. She's the saint. She's the saint. So, you know, everyone needs a saint in their life, and this is my saint. Richie Ray, second vice president.
This is great. Great turnout. Great turnout. I mean, this is very humbling. I'm going to speak about Article 8, the provisions of the changes. Forget about the raise. The changes in the provisions of Article 8, to me, is the scariest part of this contract. The work hour limitations, they're going to seek volunteers. You can end your tour at 12:60, but you can volunteer if you want to. My concern is this: why does a letter carrier have to work 16 hours or 20 hours to make ends meet? That's because we're getting a 1.3% raise. Okay? Right now, in our contract, they cannot seek volunteers for 12 and 60, but they're doing it anyway. They're bullying the people who don't know the contract. And they're going to sit here and tell me we're going to follow it for the fact that it's written in the contract that you cannot get written up if you don't volunteer? Bullshit. That's the bottom line. It's a lie. This guy sold us out. Bottom line. Okay? We already have in the contract that they can't seek volunteers and they can't do nothing to us already. But yet they intimidate. The other part of this is you get on the ODL list, you get to pick if you want to be an 8-hour carrier on your NS day. So now we're going to have carriers that get on their ODL for their NS day. They're all going to be 8-hour carriers. Right. So now everyone's going to get forced. Where is the logic in that? How are we going to take care of equitability? How is that going to work? This is just that alone, we cannot say yes to this contract. Now, anyone that knows me knows pretty damn well I'm a cheerleader of the NELC. Okay? Right now, I'm a cheerleader for the no for this tentative agreement. This is not something to be proud of. We deserve more. You deserve more. Where is our failure to comply provisions? Where is it? Management is not following the contract now. They're not going to follow it with this tentative agreement. Vote no. Let's take it to arbitration.
That's why I call him Big Rich. All right, the one and only PM, Paul Marks, first vice president.
Afternoon, everybody. Why are we here today? Vote no. Right. No, vote no to what? Right. the contract. I'm here to talk about Article 15, okay? And the union, to enforce the contract, what do? We file grievances, right?
Right.
And Article 15 is all about the grievance procedure. So those of you, I'm sure you've seen you've looked over this tentative agreement. In Article 15, there are 3 changes. Now, Brother Ray has stated that he believes that Article 8, these changes are the scariest part of the contract. And I would submit to you what could be even scarier is what is unknown. So, Brother McCoy and myself went to the first rap session on this contract. And I asked President Renfro, in front of everyone, I asked him, I said, the teeth of the union tiger is the grievance procedure. And I said that Article 15, the 3 changes, I'll touch on them briefly. But the second one is very vague. If you look at the end, it says that the current DRP memo is going to be eliminated. It's going to be replaced with a new DRP memo. So I said to Brother Renfro over 2 weeks ago, I said to him, very important, can you please immediately disseminate the new Article 15 memo so that we can review it? And his answer to me was no. And I was going to go on to the next question. I thought that was crazy. But then he said, well, we're going to incorporate it into the new agreement, and it's going to be slid in, and all the new language is going to be bolded and italicized, and we'll be able to review it, okay? I didn't check this morning, but the last time I checked, the new tentative agreement is not there on the website, so I don't even know what the changes to Article 15 are. But when you talk about elimination of the DRP memo, dispute resolution process memo, okay, that was a part of it was incorporated also into Article 16. And local management in Brooklyn, about a year ago or so, maybe a little more than a year ago, started invoking that. And what does it mean? Let's say they put up a CCA for removal for missing a scan, right? And we try to resolve it through the grievance process. If for some reason it goes to step B, the DRP memo says that they can put that carrier out 14 days after the B team receives it without pay. Now, I'm the person at the branch who has to deal with back pay issues using this 8038 form. 3 months a carrier has to suffer to get back pay. If it's a ridiculous write-up that should have been resolved, but they don't, and it goes to step B, then they're out of work for a month. I'm the person that has to file this form, work with the carrier to get them their back pay, and they have to wait 3 months, okay, to get this. So, the 3 proposals that they have here is first about the testing, which basically says that it's going to be more frequent. The third one is about electronic filing, which may or may not be a good system. It could save money. Okay, it's going to be time stamped, so you wouldn't have any dispute about when cases were received. But the second thing basically says they're going to have a new DRP memo. And I'm very happy to see that there are many carriers from other branches, and we have John Mooney here from branch 36. Give him a hand. Absolutely. I was speaking with him this morning about this because he was one of the original DRT guys.
That's right.
Okay, and he used to give us fantastic language. And the problem is that the B team, and that's what they're talking about in this, is modifications to the B team and elimination of the DRP memo. So Mr. Mooney remembers when they went from step 1, 2, 3, went from that to this new thing with the step B team to try and handle grievances quicker and better. They had a whole Q&A and they had a whole memo. Well, apparently it's going to be eliminated, but replaced with what? Because right now we don't know. So because we don't know, we should vote no. Thank you.
This is one man that I say I will put up against anyone when it comes to the grievance process. I believe in this man. Before we we go any further, let me just introduce a couple of people that are here in the crowd. I want to thank them for being here. John Mooney, branch 36. Branch 274, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Branches from Suffolk County, I think it's 6,000. We got anybody from branch 38 in New Jersey? Give them a hand. Give them a hand. And then anybody else that I missed, thank you for coming here and thank you for being here. Thank you. The Director of Retirees, Tom Estrella.
Good morning. This is some incredible turnout. This says a lot, guys. This says a lot about you guys. Had enough? Had enough. I know you've seen all the 1.3 stuff. I'm here to talk about the COLAs, the other half of these step increases, all right? There are 7 of them on this tentative agreement. The last 4 don't exist. They're projected. They could be 0, they could be 1,000. Don't buy into what he's telling you. What is it now? He's got the calculator on national site, giving you all kinds of BS about what you're gonna be making. Maybe, maybe not, all right? So that being said, there are other crafts in the Postal Service that get 100% COLAs at every step. So if you're on a job, full regular carrier, a regular clerk for a year or 30 years, you get 100% COLA. We do not. We do not. The only guys who get top step P is 100%. Step A, I think, is like 61, and it goes up from there. Everybody deals with inflation the same, right? Right? Isn't that ridiculous? Our national president doesn't feel that this is an issue. Come on, man. Really? They did away with that on us in 2011. Are we going to fix that? Are we even going to consider fixing that? Times are tough. And you guys did get through COVID and Sandy, right? 9/11. We kept this country supplied. Yes, 6-digit salaries killed a lot of people, okay? But we all blood, sweat, and tears. This is not good. So, with that being said, like the rest of the board, we really would like you to push no on this. Let's take it to arbitration. That being said, what was this guy's name? Jim Sorba? Jim Sorba came to the rap session in DC. He's the guy for decades been handling national arbitration for us, all right? He sold us a speech that was really incredible. I'm sure Brian Renfro was not happy with it. He's got his expert witnesses ready. He's ready to go to fight for us for everything. How much worse can this contract get? Besides 1.3, besides percentages on COLA, okay, these Article 8s, the Article 15s, this is opening the door. The next contract right now will be another 1.5 years. Imagine what he's gonna do to us then. If all of these things pass, we're not getting it back. So vote no, let's send it to arbitration. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming in.
All right. One of my main things that's been always a problem for me is emergency placement. 16.7. Management has used that as a weapon. If you look at management the wrong way, they put you on emergency placement. If you say something to management that you disagree, they put you on emergency placement. If you request a 3996, they put you on emergency placement. If you just ask a simple question, they put you on emergency placement. I'm only preaching this, and I say this because through my career as a letter carrier, I was put on emergency placement many times. So, what bothers me is when a carrier is put on emergency placement, they say, okay, an emergency occurred today. Today's day 1. Tomorrow that emergency didn't occur, so that carrier should be back at work the next day. So what does management do? Keep you home 3 or 4 months, even up to a year. So that means you gotta find ways to make ends meet for your family, right? Right now, things are tough. So when I asked our national president at the rap session, what are they doing with that? He says, well, now they could give you annual leave. Who has 3 or 4 months of annual leave? Right? So, you know that management is not going to put you on annual leave if they put you on emergency placement. They're going to hurt you at your pocket because that's what they love to do. So, I disagree with this contract because of this 16.7 with the annual leave, because something better needs to be done for our letter carriers. If you put them out in emergency placement for an issue that occurred today, they should be back at work the next day, not 4, 5, 6 months later. Okay? They won't even do that. Listen, 16.7 has always been one of my biggest pet peeves. We have DRT decisions that come back and say, the emergency occurred on this date, the carrier should have been back on this date, make the carrier whole. We get a DRT decision 6 months later. That's, everybody's waiting for these decisions. Listen, I got pending arbitration. I got cases over 2 years old. I got carriers sitting at home, waiting for these cases. So you know what I have to do? I have to go and try to make pre-arb these cases just to bring those carriers back to work for they don't have to go through this. I have carriers that can't even afford a place to live. You know that we built a shower here? We built a shower here for our carriers because we have carriers that are homeless. Okay? We have carriers that are homeless. And we built that shower here because we have some carriers that come here for it. Okay? That's why we built that shower here. You know what it is when a carrier doesn't have a place to shower? You know what it is when a carrier doesn't have a place to rest his head? We have carriers that have to go to shelters, and by a certain time, if you don't check into that shelter, you lose out for the night. None of our carriers should be going through that. None. So a 1.3% raise is not cutting it for me. No, it's not cutting it for me. I say, vote no, let's go to interest to arbitration, and let's just fight. That's just the way I look at it. That's the only way I look at it. Listen, there's only one way to do it. Fight. Everybody saw the movie Braveheart, right? Yeah. And what did he do? He stood up and he fought. There you go. So that's what we have to do here, guys. If we vote yes, just keep in mind, we're stuck with this to 2026. But this, also keep in mind this, whatever we lose in this current contract, we're never going to get it back. We will never get it back. I know Vinny Sombrado is turning in his grave right now, because Vinny Sombrado put this union where it needed to be. And guess what? We gave it away. We gave it away, you know why? Because it's too much politics. And I don't believe in politics. I believe in the membership. That's what we need to do. There's going to be a change coming. There is going to be a change coming. 2026, I don't know if I see you guys see the shirts here. These shirts are being sold for the 2026 new slate, James Henry. He is our current vice president right now. And he was blackballed by our national president. All his duties were taken away. And he's been in the post office since 1988. And he's prepared, and he's the only one that stood up to fight for the membership. He fought for the membership, and he's doing what he has to do. Right now, just because he's going against our national president, he is being currently blackballed. Keep in mind, in 2026, James Henry will be running for national president. You guys can look up concernedlettercarriers.com, the CLC, look it up, support him. You could be an endorser or you could be a supporter. Please look up James Henry, guys. He is our future, and I believe in him. I believe in him. Trust me, when I tell you I believe in this man is the most humblest man there is, but one thing that he does, he fights for the membership. He has the most arbitration cases in national under his belt, the most. And his percent winning rate is at 95%. And that's what we need, okay? That's the man that we need. He was the original the original dispute resolution process. He was the pilot when it first started. And he's been around since 1988, and this is the man that we need to support.
Marine Corps.
And he's also a Marine Corps. So, all right, anybody, you guys got any questions? All right, hold on.
Before we go to the Q&A, I just want to add, when me and Mr. Paul Marks went to Houston, I stood in front of the president and I asked him one question. And I said to him, I asked him, did the board voted on this tentative agreement or just yourself? So he looked at me and says, well, brother, he quoted the Constitution to me. He said that I have all power in my hands. And I said, well, you know, we're a democracy here. I said, how can you just, the board was scared to even speak. Only 2 of them got and spoke, but make the long story short, he showed us that he did not even bounce it off his board. It was about him. So after I said that, he caught me after the meeting. He pulled me to the side and he says, because I told him before, I've been here 40 years, you never even recognized me. You passed me like you never even know me until I asked him that question. So after the meeting, he brought me outside and he says, well, I didn't want to disclose that in front of everyone there, but there's only 2 or 3 of them was really against me. They knew about it. But then me, being who I am, those who know me, I caught each and every one of them by themselves. I caught them in the bathroom. That's the best place to catch them. I caught them in the bathroom. And no, I'm serious. And their answer was, I don't know if they scared of him. Their answer was, we tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't listen. But they would not come public. It's our job to come public and vote no. They was afraid, but we're not afraid. We are the foot soldiers. And behind this man right here, the rest of the president, we're gonna do what the hell we're gonna do. Let's vote no.
That's a hype man right there, man. All right, guys. So, the mic is over there. If you guys want to pass it around, anybody has any questions?
I can speak loud.
Oh, God.
When he talked about the 16.7, I was out for 8 weeks. No pay. I went to John Cruz as I needed help. Nobody, he's the only one who stand beside me and help me and make sure I get my job back. Every day. And a lot of people at my job said, oh, he's gonna be fired, he's gonna be fired. Luther McCoy came in and sat down with them, talked to them. But I had those 2 behind my back, and I got tears in my eyes to this day, till they was here for me. That's right, yeah.
Thank you, brother. Questions?
I have a question.
Yes, brother.
Okay, so if this is what we got after 200 days of negotiation, hold on. What was management's first offer?
I'm going to tell you what their management's
What did he negotiate?
You know what was management's first offer? He said to us in Washington, management didn't offer us nothing. Nothing. So the question to him was, what did you offer? And this is what he offered. So this was his negotiation on his own. Like Brother Luther McCoy said, he did this on his own. He did this on his own. This contract, this tentative agreement is for management. This is not for the letter carriers. This is for management. And I'm telling you, if we sign yes, guys, we're fucked. We're fucked. Sorry, guys. That's my new wife right there. Sorry, but let me tell you, and we're never going to get none of this back. let me tell you, this grievance process that we have, there's no union that has this. No union. My daughter used to work for $11.99. She was in the hospital, right? And when I got involved, because I know a little bit, so so I got involved and I questioned, and I read their contract, and what I saw in their contract, it was like, what? To this day, my daughter still haven't heard nothing from $11.99, and it's been over 2 years. She's already working in the post office, and she's a CCA. Let me tell you something. My daughter is, and I'll say it because my daughter's pushing 14 hours a day, 14, 15 hours a day. There is no need for a CCA to be working that much. There's no need for no data carrier to be working that much. You're gonna tell me that the post office is broke, right? And kudos to the APWU. They did an amazing job on their contract. Starting salary for PSCs is going to be $27. Now, you're going to tell me that the post office is so broke, but meanwhile, you want to open up the 12 and 60 and say, you can work as many hours as you want. So there's money. There's money to be given. So give us the fair share that we deserve. Give us a fair share. So don't, our national president says there's no money, the post office is broke. But I remember, at the national convention, he said he was prepared to go to interest to arbitration. No matter what, 500 and plus days, this is what we get. Why didn't we go to interest arbitration when we needed to go to interest arbitration? That's just the way it is. Listen, you gotta roll the dice. If you don't, scare money don't make no money. We got it. We in it. Listen, we in it to win it. So, yes.
I need to know, when are we getting these in the mail to vote on it?
Okay.
How soon? And please, letter carriers, all of y'all when y'all go to your station, tell these carriers to make sure they deliver to the right house. I need to get mine so I can vote on it. I don't need my neighbor having it for like So please, tell your letter carrier, make sure they deliver it to the right address. And send it back, so we need to make sure we get it.
Hold on, guys.
Who is on this board to count these votes?
Okay. Let me give you a question. All right. So, let me answer the young lady, and then I got you next. All right. So, from what the information that I received, they're gonna start sending out the ballots December 1st.
December 1st?
Yes. So now what they do is they start at the West Coast because it's the furthest out. So they start from the West Coast and then they come down. Sometime in January they should be voting. The ballot is the deadline. Do not, please, do not write on the ballot. Just check off yes or no. Well, check off no. So just check it off, seal it, because they already said if you write anything on it, you put anything up, they're gonna discard it. They're not gonna count it. Now, they did put a name out of some gentleman from Midwest that is gonna be the head of the ballot, the committee. The committee, and they're supposed to put 15 other people. They don't have the full list of the people yet. Now, there is rumble about this, about the whole thing, about the whole thing. Oh, can we trust them? Can we do this? Can we do that? Now, I am hearing that there is going to be people that are individuals that are going to be there that are not part of it, just to make sure things are getting done. So let's have faith and let's pray to the great Lord up above that we get by. All right?
Update the address.
Please update your address. You can call headquarters, the membership. Eddie, you got the number?
I'll get the number.
Go get the number.
I have. Good, thanks. I don't want to walk.
So, you gotta update your membership address. It's important. Update your membership with your local branch and headquarters. Because if you don't, you're not gonna get a ballot. Retirees, keep this in mind. Retirees are the only ones that vote, but they do not get a ballot for this contract. They will not get a ballot for this contract. So it is important that all active letter carriers vote. So retired letter carriers do not vote. So please, go ahead.
That number is 202-662-2836.
Say it again, say it again.
202-662-2836.
Thank you,
Darren. 202-662-2836.
Any other questions, guys?
Our shop steward is encouraged all carriers in my station to write down on the note elimination of the table A, right? The first table, whatever you say that. So you say there's to write nothing on it.
No, don't write nothing. Don't, yeah. If you write anything on that ballot, they're gonna throw it away. All you got, no comments. I know a lot of people wanna write comments. But the only way we're gonna get this vote passed, if we don't write nothing on it, is just vote. It's important to vote. Please, guys, it's important to not write on it.
We take a picture to have a backup in the city.
Oh, that'd be great. You guys take pictures for backup just in case. That's awesome.
Okay, is a no vote, like if you don't vote at all, is that regarded as a yes?
No. Only the vote counts. Only the vote counts. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Bernard.
Oh, you know what it is? I got a crooked eye, so don't worry.
Once we vote no, who's going to negotiate the contract for us again? Is it going to be the same people?
No. What happens is, so now they get the, they have already arbitrator Nolan. They get the lawyer from the NALC and the lawyer from the USPS, and then the witnesses. So we have one of the best law firms in the country, which is Coleman and Weissman. They are one of the best law firms in the country, and they're a labor law firm, and they come right out of here, right out of Manhattan. So they will be doing the negotiations. It won't be unexperienced people. Yes, bro.
All right, since there was no offer made, who makes the new offer, like, when it changes?
Well, that's gonna be part of the whole negotiations. There was no offer made. Listen, if there was no offer made, the way I look at it, no offer was made from the beginning. We start from the top. Let's just throw a figure out and see what happens when we end. But just don't come out with a figure on your own and say, this is what I think the carriers deserve. You understand what I'm saying?
Cruz.
Yes, brother. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, this had a question. If we have a majority no vote, isn't there two options for the president to either go back for negotiations for 15 days?
Yeah, once it's ratified.
Or arbitration?
Yeah, no, once it's ratified that, we vote no, that we vote, they have to go, they got 5 days to go back into start arbitration.
But does he have an option to negotiate the contract?
No, from what the information that I received this past week.
So it's going straight to
Yeah, they're gonna go to arbitration.
Okay.
I got a question. How you feel about opening bargaining, brother?
Huh?
How you feel about opening bargaining?
Open bargaining? I think it's one of the best things that we could do, because you see, when you do open bargaining, you could get input from everybody. That's the way I look at it. When I do local negotiations, I involve a lot of my shop stewards. because I want to get feedbacks, you know, so I want to see what's going on. What I do is I get grievances in, I look at the grievances, I see what's going on, how things are going on, whatever issues we have, I involve my shop stewards and say, okay guys, let's start getting this, but we could get more input to see what we could do.
So why is Renfro telling people it's so dangerous?
Huh?
So why is Renfro telling people it's so dangerous if it sounds so positive?
Because when you're a narcissistic individual, there's no other way to do it, my brother. That's it. The word narcissistic is a very powerful word, and when you're narcissistic, it's, you know, it's like the street sign, you're one way. That's it. And, you know, that's it. You know, you put the blinders on, you don't want to think no other way. I'm sorry. I just, you know, I don't like talking about nobody, but, you know, a spade is a spade.
Hi everybody, my name is Tari Vega from Branch 36. I'm a proud letter carrier. I also want to share that I've been fighting breast cancer for the past 2 years, and this contract made me so sick. I just came out the hospital yesterday, and I had to be here. I was sick in my bed. I just had surgery. They mailed me a notice of removal. And thank God I have a good shop steward. I'm a shop steward, OJI, I'm everything. I wear whatever hat you want me to wear. I'm proud to say I'm a carrier for 25 years. And I thank you, Mr. Cruz, because we met a long time ago.
Yes, we did.
And I'm proud to say that this contract not only spits in our face, but pisses in our pants. Because unfortunately, I can't live by this. I've been out of work for 2 years with no pay. But I still got to pay my union dues, because guess what? If I don't pay my union dues, I get kicked out. Right? So thank you for accepting me here. Thank you for hearing my voice. And you got my back 100%, and I know you got my back 100%. Who is going to be the witnesses when we do all of this? Like, who are going to be the witness? And who's going to be to say, this is what the carriers want, this is what the members want, because this is what we want.
From what I got from Jim Sauber, the way he explained it, that he has nothing but experts and a lot of letter carriers. There is a lot of expert letter carriers that he's going to have on there. He has, there was a lot of different people. I can't remember off the top of my, what else?
He has a board of economists.
Yes.
That could contradict everything that the Postal Service issues. These guys are top-notch in their industry, and he has them on our side.
John, I think he's got carriers from each region too.
Yes, and carriers from different regions, so there's 15 regions. So, you know, right now, the you know, I hate to say it, the ones that suffer are New York, California, Chicago. You know, the big cities we're the ones that are suffering. You know, Angelo Mangano, for anyone who knows who Angelo Mangano was. He always used to go up there and fight about cost of living wages. Because if we live in New York, we should make a little bit more extra money, right? We should make a little bit more money, you know. And you know, they always, every time he used to go to a convention, he used to bring that up. They used to shoot him down because they say the contract is across the board for everybody. That's just the way it is. And they used to tell him, well, if you don't want to be in New York, move. This is the way, you know. That was a great man, and he always believed in the membership, and he fought for us many years. So, you know, now it's being shown. Now, who's fighting for this cost of living adjustment, you know, for the different regions to make more money? Boston is fighting for it now. Boston is fighting for it. They want it. Well, you know, if it comes up again, I'm going to support that. Because we live in New York. One bedroom apartment is $2,600 a month. You go to the groceries, a bag, you spend $100 on a bag. I remember I used to go get a shopping cart for $100. You know, you gotta rob from Peter to give to Paul to try to survive right now. So, things are tough. And you know what? A lot of our letter carriers are on public assistance right now. Why should letter carriers be on public assistance?
I can't even get that.
You know? I've been trying to do it in 59. Any more questions? Damien.
Issues aside, I'm a branch 36 carrier. I had the privilege to work in Brooklyn for a while. I met your acquaintance with your board, the staff. From the beginning to now, since coming into your branch, your office has mentored me. I've had the privilege to work with Paul, Luther, A-Rod, a lot of the other brothers, the branch members. I've learned so much. Management has an issue contending with me. I just want to say that I am in awe of the congregation that you've assembled, of the professionalism, we hear NALC, but we don't, for a lot of carriers, we don't see it. A lot of carriers pay union dues, and when we have a problem, we go to our shop store and we complain, and all we know is that there's somebody at the job that we go complain to, and for the most part, a lot of us don't take it upon ourselves to actually learn the contract. What I can say is that NALC Branch 41, not only do you properly represent your constituency, you also induce your constituency for the betterment of themselves so that they can contribute.
Now, Brother Damien, thank you for those words, but just to give a little background. Brother Damien was sent over here from Branch 36. And we never turned our backs on him, even though he wasn't a member of here. He was a member of Branch 36. And we continue to represent him because that's what we have to do. He's a member no matter what of the NALC. That's what we do. Any more questions? If everybody could just put up their picture, their sign. Which whichever way you want.
Hell no, we won't go.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.